Morning. Can you hear me? Excellent, excellent. So you in Iowa?
I'm from Iowa. Currently, I'm actually driving from Wisconsin to Chicago to do a couple of deliveries.
Oh, cool. So you're in the truck right now.
Yeah.
And you
Almost every day.
okay? And you were thinking of moving to Los Angeles? Is that correct?
The company that I work for has actually got a couple facilities that are down there one's in Carson and one's in Santa Fe Springs.
Okay. Carson.
Quite a good deal of time there anyway.
Carson would be good for you as far as if you could stay close to Carson, because it's it's considered the South Bay of Los Angeles, and it's a really good starting point in the morning. You know, you'll get good trips from the South Bay that'll take you into downtown LA or to LAX or to the business areas. So if you're combining both jobs, are you doing, let's say you remain with your current job and then you do this as a part-time job to fill extra hours. I mean, that I could envision that to be a good combination.
Sure. Yeah, I had actually considered driving for them on a local basis because, of course, with the operation that they have, it's what they call LTL, but it's all refrigerated free.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, they pull a lot of stuff together into a cold storage warehouse that they have there in Carson.
Okay.
Kind of piecemeal it off into different trucks that are going, anywhere as far as like the East Coast, and basically you'll, on one truckload, what'll end up happening is you'll have, anywhere from like 5 to I've had as many as 15 drops on one load, and it'll go from, starting anywhere from Denver and go all the way to the East Coast. So,
Okay.
it's kind of an interesting operation, but they have local drivers that go around to different places and pick all that stuff up so that they can put it all on a big truck.
And you were trying to sort of get a position as being one of the local drivers that goes around pooling all the items for the long hauls.
I haven't actually talked to them about it yet, but it was an idea that I kind of tossed around.
Yeah, to me that the thing is, you have family as well, right? You have a large family or not?
4 kids.
Okay, wonderful. How blessed we are.
One of the reasons why I'm trying to get out of driving a truck is, that much time away is not really conducive for, a good healthy family, I guess.
That's wonderful. The cool thing about the rideshare business is, if it does take you to LA, hopefully it does. A change is always good. It's a busy city on all levels. I mean, it'll be busy for you as far as your current job. It'll be busy, non-stop busy for you as far as the rideshare business. And then you would sign up for Uber. Within 30 days, you would get that bonus. There is a bonus from driver to driver. And then you would sign up for Lyft. You never sign up for both at the same time. It's just too much. So within 2 months, you have 2 rideshare platforms, and depending on the vehicle. Now, you said you had a car.
I do have a car, but it's pretty old and it's got about 140,000 miles on it.
Okay.
So it's not something I really, I would say this, I wouldn't even trust it really for using it for that. I don't necessarily really feel comfortable, putting possibly even, you'd say endangering the welfare of other people.
Okay, that's fair.
It's not like it's, a piece of junk, but
Yeah.
I don't trust it for being a reliable thing that
Yeah.
I would put all my eggs in that basket
So there's that I mean that makes perfect sense. And you were thinking then of maybe getting a used car or another a new car, something along those lines. Because the lease, you don't really want to. Go ahead.
I was going to say potentially buying, buying some kind of, just a used car that would be a good starter vehicle for this.
Yeah, if you can get your hands on a used car, I mean, you don't have to go out and get a brand new car. The cars devalue a lot if they have 40, 50,000 miles on. Those are the ones that I usually pick up. And then leasing is just too expensive. And the rental program that the rental companies offer is just not worth it because they're taking so much out of your weekly paycheck. So if you can look at a 2010 upwards, you're in good shape.
Sure. Now, I've heard that, and this is just rumors that I've heard, but it doesn't show any evidence of it on Uber's website, but that they're discontinuing the exchange leasing program anyway.
Yeah, they are. They are. They have in many areas. So that's something you can't rely on. And then Enterprise is out of the picture. The only one standing is Hertz, and I have a feeling they'll be following pretty soon as well.
Always do pretty soon.
Yeah. So you either have your own vehicle, or you go out and get a vehicle. That's, I think, going to be the only scenario. They're not making money. The rideshare companies and the rental companies are not necessarily making money off the cars, because it's a lot of mileage is put on these vehicles.
Sure. In terms of, obviously, to start with, I would get some kind of, like say, a used vehicle that you could just do like Uber X or whatever with. But in terms of getting into, I don't know, say an SUV or even a minivan, I guess.
Well, here's the thing with Los Angeles, and let's say the minivans fall into category, it's called XL, like extra large, right? The XLs are taking away a lot of business from the SUVs because it's the less, it's the category that costs less than SUV and can take the same amount of passengers. So people are getting smart, they're not paying those horrendous SUV rates anymore. SUVs are usually companies that they have an account and they have to have their directors drive around, so they usually drive a little bit more luxurious in a Suburban or Escalade, or in a Lux in the Lux category, especially in LA because they love to show off here. So, but the XL is I think would be a safe bet for you because the X category, you're accumulating a lot of little trips, making a lot of little amounts, and it's just a lot of work. Now, with your background, you can drive hardcore hours. You're not scared of the driving. You're very accustomed to it, right? So, which is a big bonus.
11, 12 years, it's been 65 to 70 hours a week, so.
Yeah, that there's not many people that can pull that off. But so I think you have a big advantage there as far as the hours that you could drive, or that, you could jump in the car anytime if you wanted to go and spend an hour with your daughter, with your son here or there, you switch off. If you want to jump back in the car and drive a few, that's the cool thing that I like about it, right? Because I have two sons as well. But the XL, why I like the XL is when you're buying a minivan, it's not much more really than a regular X car, right? It might be slightly higher. The maintenance, brakes, oil's the same. I mean, it's the same as any X vehicle, whether you're buying a Toyota Prius or a Honda Civic or a small minivan. The big advantage with XL is because you drive larger crowds. These are usually people that book this vehicle because they have luggage. So it's a lot of hotel pickups and airport drop-offs, or airport pickups and hotel drop-offs. And then there's usually a lot of tips associated with that. So if you have a fun personality and the people enjoy you on the trip, that usually results in a nice in a nice tip. Okay. So in UberX, you'll very seldom see tips. I mean, that's like more the economy category, and people are saving there, so they're not very tip friendly. But XL is not much more of an investment, slightly higher than X, but the earnings and the rewards are far on the upside. And you can also drive that vehicle in X and XL, so you could drive that vehicle in two categories. You may want to look into that a little bit. Just research XL. Now, when you're on XL, you can then also add that vehicle to to Lyft Plus. That's their larger category, Lyft Plus, and then you can also add it to Lyft Regular. So you would, at the end of the day, after 2 months, you could see yourself driving in 4 platforms. Would just keep you very, very busy.
Sure.
You know.
Do you think that it's really worth it to go? I mean, I know I've seen like where you said don't go buy like I don't know like an Escalade or anything that big and expensive before doing your research in terms of getting into that category. But like, do you see like just a Suburban or a Yukon or a Tahoe or something like that?
Look,
Is it worth it to maybe
I'll
to
give
that?
I'll give you I'll give you
It's kind of
yeah, I'll give you the honest answer on that. Firstly, the price difference between an Escalade and a Suburban, it's a lot of money. And you would buy an Escalade if you're setting up a separate limo company, which is easy to do. I mean, you're just looking at an extra $2,000 to get your TCP license and an LLC. But if you have that, it's gold, right? It's absolute gold. Because then you can build up private clients, and it's cash business, and there's a lot of benefits to having your own limo company. Now, with the SUV category in Lyft, you're safe. It's not a busy category in Lyft. You would get Lyft SUV and Lyft Premier and Lyft Lux maybe out of that vehicle. But in Uber, they've shut that category down. The only ones that were grandfathered in, who had the licenses for SUV, like myself and a few others, we can now turn around and rent out those vehicles for a high dollar amount per week, right? Anywhere from $500 to $650. Now, it only makes sense leasing an SUV for $550 a week if you are pushing crazy hours. If you're doing the 60 hours, the 55, 60 hours, you're then making good money, right? You're making good money. But it's just to go out and buy one and think that you're going to get into the Uber SUV category. It's not going to happen. You can check with Uber yourself. You can ask the hub. It's closed. Lyft, you would be able to get that vehicle registered for Lyft SUV, but Lyft SUV is a new product. It has very, very few bookings, okay, because they're playing catch up. I mean, Uber has that market already. It's taken that market away from them. And I'm talking LA because you're coming to LA,
right.
So, can you drive an Uber SUV or a used Suburban in XL? Yes, absolutely you can, right? You can drive that Suburban in XL versus if you don't want to drive a minivan, you could drive a Suburban or a Tahoe or a Yukon in XL. Then you have to look at gas prices because those cars drink like crazy, and I speak of experience. I really do. I'll easily burn up $40-50 a day or more, way more. Easily. If I'm putting in long hours, I could almost sometimes spend $70-80 without a problem. So if I'm doing that in SUV, it makes complete sense because my gas prices I get back tips wise. My tips always cover my gas prices in Uber SUV, but they definitely don't. They would never cover my Uber XL tips. Wouldn't cover my gas prices if I was driving in a Suburban in XL, if that gives you a bit of a rough idea. It's a great car. It's spacious. It's nice.